dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
Ahead of them was a storyless void, and they could go no further.
Okay, at this point I'm curious. What's gonna happen if the time is out? And I'll call with the magic of editing. 3, 2, 1.
The little dragon was at an impasse, and the dark power within him surged like a tide.
Where am I now?
Unchecked, the darkness engulfed everything around it, including the little dragon's soul. The little dragon's story faded into nothingness, and in the world beyond the castle, only the evil dragon's tale endured.
Is this me?
And so the story ended, with the little dragon fading from sight, leaving nothing but the evil dragon's shadow in his place.
Oh no! That means Durin... What do we do now?
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
What's going on here? Why isn't the story letting Durin just suppress
Wait,
the abyssal
wait, what?
power? It keeps
Wait,
getting
what?
stuck.
Wait, I'm supposed to be stuck here? I legit don't know how much can the story be different on
It
this.
seems the act of suppressing the power counts as an event in the story. In other words, we would need ink to write it in.
So, what now? Did we use too much earlier? How are we supposed to write a happy ending with only this much left? But...
Well, this is Durin's story. As long as he's alive and well, why should it end?
If there really is such a direct correlation between the story and his fate, I may have a potential hypothesis. Durin was, and still is in essence, a storybook character, written into being by M. From the moment he was born, he has always dwelt within her story. And I suspect that has remained the case, even after his arrival in Tevat. Reviving Durin in the evil dragon's place was an act of grafting this Durin story onto the latter's fate. In essence, that is how his fate was rewritten. But there is a fundamental difference between a being's story and its fate. As Miss Barbeloth reminded us, the fate of every living being in Tevat has been woven into the fabric of time. Its most natural path, therefore, is to proceed along its given track. But Durin's story, on the other hand...
Okay, I'm a bit confused. How is it gonna go?
As Durin's connection to this world wore thin, not only have people started to forget him, he started to lose control of the abyssal power within. In other words, his story can't continue, because the author's ink is drying up. That's what it seems like to me.
It would seem the little dragon had made a group of fine friends indeed.
Save it. The question is, are you here to help him, or stand in his way?
This is as far as the story can go. What path will you choose?
I suppose the final decision is up to me. It's hard to believe I never actually left my mother's story. If that's true, I'd like to go there and see for myself.
By there, I take it you mean the blank pages of the unwritten chapter ahead?
But we still don't even know how Alice's magic works. If Durin belongs inside the story, then going outside of it to some unwritten part, isn't that too risky?
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, right on, sir.
I second that. It would seem this is one answer you need to go seize for yourself.
So be it. Whatever obstacles stand in your way, we'll tear them down together.
Facing that invisible wall, it was as if the little dragon was staring at the uncrossable edge of existence itself.
I should use my attack.
All of a sudden,
Oh.
it began to fracture, as if struck by some transcendent will.
Gotta keep going.
Ahead lies only a storyless void.
My consciousness is slipping away.
Keep going, Durin. A pure soul is your essence, not an empty void.
I feel so weak.
Stand tall, Durin. You are not some amorphous idea. The body I made for you is flesh and bone.
Am I truly alive?
Yes, Durin, but you must keep going. You're as alive and real as I am.
I can't feel a connection.
You're not alone in this world, Durin. At the very least, you have me.
I can't remember anything. Who am I?
Your name is Durin, and there are many who still remember it.
My name is Durin.
You're taking too long. Come on, Durin, run! In this world, fate waits for no one.
Wait! Where am I meant to go? What am I supposed to do?
Go, make your wish come true, Durin.
He speaks?
My wish?
Whoa, where did that...
Your story's not over yet!
Silence, huh? Have you nothing to say about my proposal?
Let me get this straight. You want to graft your story onto this unfinished thread of fate, and in doing so, not only rewrite that fate, but allow the story to live on.
Quite the brilliant idea. Still, the story's survival depends entirely on whether the author keeps writing.
Exactly. And the moment foretold by the prophecy is still centuries away.
I see. I thought my own ignorance might be the problem. That I'd asked more of the noble science of alchemy than it could ever deliver? Or that I had failed to discern the heavenly signs and grasp the secret truth underlying the prophecy? Little did I imagine that time itself would prove to be the greatest hurdle of all.
Well, my friend, this has been a most intriguing experiment. And from an academic perspective, at least, I don't think it was a bad proposal.
Someday, the prophecy will come to pass. So remember, my friend, much like the stars themselves, there will always be something that transcends the test of time.
Thank you, everyone. You've helped me so much already. But, Alice, I still have one final favor to ask of you. Will you lend me your magic one last time, just enough for me to keep his story alive until the prophecy is fulfilled?
You mean you want me to extend your lifespan?
No, not in that sense. As
Wait, she
Vine
can do
Daughter
that?
once told me, the laws governing life and death are among the most unyielding in this world. I'm well aware of that. Whether it lasts a day or an age, the span of one's life is determined by fate alone. If I tried to breach that law by force, I'm afraid I would lose what makes me human. This is not a path I want to go down. If I am to die, then I shall die a human.
Meanwhile, Alice is an elf that could live for centuries. Reingarter becomes later the god of... She's the god of time, or... No. I forgot what stage she was, but... No, I think she's life. Maybe. And I think the second, the oldest... Not... The one that looks kind of the oldest would be... B? Mona's teacher?
So, what is it that you want me to do?
I would like you to send this pen of mine into the future.
I see. Then perhaps there really is a way I can help. I could create a kind of story magic to take over the writing once you're gone. Oh, but for it to work, you would need to provide enough of your own words for it to learn from.
How much?
Wait, is she gonna...
An immense amount. So much, in fact, that you would have to spend the rest of your life writing. And even then, I'm sorry to say, it would not last forever.
She's literally asking her to give her all the material to train the AI or what she's gonna plan with that pen. I'm not sure this was planned or just a happy coincidence. Not happy coincidence, but you know the idea.
No matter how much you write, there is a limit to the number of words you can leave behind. But the world itself will never stop changing. Someday, perhaps, even your entire corpus will not be enough for the magic to continue describing this world. And when that happens, the story will end.
Still, it's worth a try.
Oh, my dear Anya. Even after all this time, you're still... Look at you. You should be enjoying your old age in peace and quiet, especially now that things are finally returning to normal after that terrible calamity.
Once he leaves Simulanka, things will only get more complicated. If his story is to continue, there needs to be more material for the magic to draw upon. I'll just have to skip over some of the less important details.
Oh, that's a great mission.
Why do you insist on sending him out of the storybook world? Why must he face his fate into that? Why not just let him remain within the story? With my magic, even fate's curse could be undone and he could live happily ever after.
I suppose. In fairy tales, all it takes is a heartfelt wish. And even a wooden puppet can turn himself into a real boy and live happily ever after.
Oh,
That's
oh,
just how
Pinocchio
fairy
reference.
tales end, isn't it? But have you ever wondered what happens to the main character after the ever after? Tell me, Alice, in your eyes, what would be a writer's greatest regret?
To leave a story without an ending.
Oh, oh, that's so true. Looking at you, Netflix, and okay, in a way, I can agree, but in the same time, they have to learn that they have to work with what they are given. Don't expect to get 10 seasons to tell your entire lore and the Great Saga. And again, looking at you, Netflix, and Amazon, and little anything else. Go back to basic. Don't expect multiverse and stuff like that.
Not a bad answer. It's true, many writers come to consider that their greatest regret. But I see things differently. My greatest regret is that every story I write has to come to an end in the first place.
Anya.
No matter how brilliantly a character shines, the moment their story ends, their potential is lost forever. For them, the story itself becomes an inescapable fate. But what if, instead, I could place my pen in their hand and let them continue the story themselves?
You mean...
You said it yourself. I can only leave so many words behind. Even with your magic, the idea that I could keep the story going until the prophecy comes to pass is wishful thinking at best. But I've found a way to use your magic to transform some of my finished stories into a special kind of ink. This ink is a magical medium he can use to complete the story the way he wants to. For what is storytelling but another kind of magic? And if he can experience the whole tale himself while leaving behind his own wishes and aspirations, even once he reaches the chapter where I stopped, he'll still be able to carry the story forward on his own. And so, by leaving him this ink, I can entrust him with the responsibility of writing his own story.
A character with the power to write their own story.
Oh, the irony
That
on that
way,
statement.
he'll
Can you imagine that?
finally be free from the cage that is my pen. And like anyone else living in the real world, he can go on to create a life of his own.
And you no longer need to worry about the constraints of my magic. What a brilliant idea, Anya. But there are still risks. First of all, once he arrives in Tevat, he'll have to rely entirely on the story you left him to maintain his connection to that world. As you gradually hand over creative control, that connection will grow weaker, and at some point, he might lose it altogether.
But at the same time, he'll also have the chance to forge that connection for himself.
The issue is, this method taps into too many of Tevat's core secrets. Any overt hints you try to leave will be erased in no time. In fact, it'd be hard for you to leave anything at all to guide them.
We still have the story itself, though. I can use that to show them the way.
It's entirely possible he burns through all your ink, never reaches the chapter you had in mind, and gets stuck roaming the chapters of his past. But despite all that,
I still believe in what this child can become. His hopes and wishes can be his ink, so he won't be trapped by mine running dry.
Oh, what the writer you are, Anya. Your imagination never ceases to amaze. And you do know how much I love a happy ending. You shall have my help, my dear.
Thank you, my friend. Well then, my child, do you understand what you must do?
Wait,
Yes,
wait, he was
I-
here all this time?
Think I do. It's my turn to keep this story alive.
Then what's holding you back?
What will become of you after I take up this pen?
I will fade away. There will no longer be a reason for me to go on existing. My child, or your mother, I should say, passed away long ago. The voice you're hearing is nothing but a magical echo that has now fulfilled its purpose. You needn't feel so reluctant to let me go.
I know my mother died long ago. It's just, when you lose your mom too soon, it's hard to tear yourself away from the stories she used to read. I guess it's a silly way of pretending she's still here, by your side.
Durin.
But after coming to this world and traveling it with my friends, facing all kinds of enemies together, I suddenly realized I couldn't just sit around listening to my mother's stories because I'd found a new purpose in life. Maybe this is just what growing up feels like. With all my new friends waiting, it's time I finally set aside my mother's storybook. I'm ready to grow up now, Mom.
Then take this. A gift I should have given you a long time ago. You've witnessed this story from the very beginning. Made your wishes, offered your blessings, and even wrote your choices into its pages. From here on out, this pen is yours. Now I ask of you, the other pillar of this story, as both its reader and its witness, will you turn the page so the next chapter can begin?
Wait. Somehow this is... You've been dealt Septian? Okay.